heating the organic compound in the absence of air or oxygen is called pyrolysis. Tell me, when organic compound undergo pyrolysis, they form smaller alkanes. That particular alkane undergo pyrolysis, they give smaller alkane as well as alkene also be formed. For example, let us take propane. Propane subjected to pyrolysis, propane, it gives rise to, it may be methane and ethane formed, or this ethene also gives methane and ethene also possible. Okay, here number of moles changes, but not alkyne. Pyrolysis does not give alkyne. Pyrolysis gives, it may be alkane, smaller alkane, it may be alkene, but not alkyne. Alkynes are not possible. Tell me. Same number. No, not same number. Tell me. No, here carbon breaking. No. This bond will be, in pyrolysis, carbon-carbon bond will be broken, and even carbon-hydrogen bond also be broken. When this bond is broken, you will get smaller. When this bond is broken, you will get even same. Okay, you are telling that one more also possible. This is also possible. Why? Carbon hydrogen bond may be broken here. 1, 2, 3. Propane. In propane, carbon hydrogen bond will be broken, so that you will get this also. Okay. So therefore, we can expect all these products. Now, which is major, which is minor, we cannot predict it, but these are all possible products. So this is a pyrolysis. Now here, question is like this. The pyrolysis of propane, 1, 2, 3, propane, which pyrolysis propane does not give which of the following product? Is it gives butene? No. Is it gives propine? No. Ethine? No. Not alkyne. Propene is formed. Propene is formed. Ethene forms. Methane forms. Ethane forms. Smaller alkene, even same number of alkene also possible. 3 carbon possible, but not alkyne. Okay, in that way you should identify the product. Next is pyrolysis of quaternary ammonium salt. Right. So pyrolysis of quaternary ammonium salt. Tell me. So what is the quaternary ammonium salt? Nitrogen containing 4 alkyl groups. No. For example, okay, take this. So nitrogen containing like 1, 2, 3, 4 alkyl groups. It is a methyl, 3 are ethyl. It is a quaternary salt. This quaternary salt is subjected to heating in absence of oxygen. Tell me, quaternary salt undergo pyrolysis, what happens? In pyrolysis, we know that there is a breaking of carbon-carbon bond, breaking of carbon-hydrogen bond, and breaking of even carbon-nitrogen bond also. In case of quaternary ammonium salt, there is a breaking of carbon-nitrogen bond. So therefore, what do you get? Ethyl group comes here outside. This ethyl group get converts into ethene, alkene, plus you will get a tertiary amine is product. Okay, so it is pyrolysis. Next, 7th one, coal base electrolysis. coal base electrolysis. Coal base electrolysis of sodium or potassium salt of dicarboxylic acid. Sodium or potassium salt of dicarboxylic acid. Do you remember? In alkane also we have studied coal base electrolysis. I told you coal base electrolysis is used to prepare alkane, alkene, even alkyne also. The difference is, if you take alkane, what we take here? Sodium or potassium salt of monocarboxylic acid. It is subjected to electrolysis in aqueous medium. And tell me, here we take how many moles? 2 moles. So where the bond is broken? Right? So CO2 can be removed. 2R gives higher alkane, plus CO2 converts into carbon dioxide and Na. So 2 Na and water, sodium ion, Na plus ion plus water, you will get obviously NaOH plus hydrogen gas will be there, no? Released. Now similarly here also possible. Now tell me, but what is the reactant? Here reactant is sodium or potassium salt of monocarboxylic acid. But here we take sodium or potassium salt of dicarboxylic acid. Right, it is a sodium or else potassium salt of dicarboxylic acid, which is called succinic acid, no? Sodium succinate. Sodium succinate is subjected to electrolysis. Product will be same. Now here bond will be broken here. CH2 which converts into alkene, ethene, and here then what is the remaining? CO2. How many CO2? 2 CO2 plus 2 sodium ion plus water, NaOH plus H2. Okay, now tell me, here important is, when sodium succinate undergo electrolysis, what are the product at cathode and anode? Same as like preparation of alkane. In the preparation of alkane, what are the product at cathode? Only hydrogen gas, right? Hydrogen gas is liberated at cathode. It is at cathode. Then anode, alkane plus, there alkane plus CO2. Here is alkene plus CO2. Then what is the resulting solution? Nature, basic nature. What is the pH? More than 7. Okay, so if you write the mechanism also, you will get same. Take mechanism. Okay, tell me, it is undergo first ionization, right? Na plus CO minus, it undergo ionization, it gives cation and anion plus 2Na plus. Okay, and there will be a water. Water also undergo partial ionization, it gives H plus OH minus. Tell me, what is the reaction at anode? So there are 2 anions. What are the anions? One is a carboxylate ion, second one is OH. When carboxylate and OH minus ions are there, which ion has less discharge potential? Carboxylate ion, not OH, carboxylate. So carboxylate ion has less discharge potential compared to OH. Which can discharge at anode? Carboxylate, not OH. So carboxylate ion, there also we have studied same, no? At anion, at anode, carboxylate ion First it undergo homolytic cleavage. Here this electron to electron, no, it undergo homolytic cleavage which gives free radical plus 2 electrons are released. Now carboxylate free radical, it undergo further homolytic cleavage. Now this bond undergo homolytic cleavage. What it forms? Ethene plus 2CO2. So therefore at anode alkene plus carbon dioxide will be the products. So what is the product at cathode? So product at cathode, tell me. Cathode attracts cation. What are the cation here? H plus and Na plus. So among H plus Na plus, whose discharge potential is less? H plus. In the order of discharge potential, Na plus comes first, no? All alkali metals, alkali earth metal having more discharge potential compared to H plus. Okay, alkali as well as alkaline earth metals having more discharge potential compared to H plus. Therefore H plus has less discharge potential. H plus undergo discharge, 2 H plus plus 2 electron gives us to H2. Therefore hydrogen gas liberated cathode. Then what are the byproduct? There is a OH minus and Na plus. So both will combined. It form NaOH. Therefore the nature of the solution is basic and pH is greater than 7. So this is coal base electrolysis, right? So the coal base electrolysis we study even in case of alkene also, alkyne also. But what is the difference here? If you want to prepare alkyne, the same method can be used, but the reactant is dicarboxylic acid, but it is a unsaturated. So therefore unsaturated dicarboxylic acid, sodium potassium salt of unsaturated dicarboxylic acid, undergo electrolysis, you will get alkynes like this. Everything is same. Therefore coal base electrolysis is used to prepare alkane, alkene and alkyne also. Alkene, alkyne exactly similar, only reactant is different. Here is saturated dicarboxylic acid. If you take unsaturated, it is alkyne. So these are the methods of preparation of alkenes. Okay. Next is properties. In properties, physical property not much important, but take 1 2 physical. In physical property we study 3 4 important. One, physical nature. So what is the physical nature of alkenes? So usually C2, there is no C1, C2 and C3, sorry, C2 and C3. So these two are gaseous state, means ethene and propene. Ethene and propene are in gaseous state, comma C4 to C17 are they are liquid in state, and C18 and above are wax like solids. Okay, then usually alkenes are they are colorless and of course odorless. They don't have color and odor except to second carbon, it means 2 carbon, that is ethene. Ethene has pleasant odor. Or otherwise all alkenes are colorless, even odorless, compounds except ethene. Ethene is a pleasant odor gas. So it is a physical nature. Second one, melting point, boiling point. See, the melting point, boiling point, usually in organic compound, boiling point is depends on size, yes or no, or number of carbon atom. As the number of carbon atom increases, its boiling point is obviously increases. Then boiling point also depends on the branching. As the branching increases, boiling point also boiling point decreases. Okay, the same thing we have studied in alkane also. This concept will be applicable for alkane, alkene, alkyne, alcohol, everywhere. As the number of carbon atom increases, boiling point increases. As the branching increases, boiling point decreases. This is same. So therefore, boiling point is directly proportional to number of carbon atoms Next, boiling point is inversely proportional to branching, and boiling point also directly proportional to van der Waals force of attraction. So as the van der Waals force of attraction increases, boiling point is increases. Yes or no? It is about boiling point. In all organic compounds, the same order we study. Next is melting point. But melting point of usually not only organic compound, whatever may be the compound, melting point of any compound usually depends on its crystal structure. If any molecule having symmetrical structure, it can be very closely packed in crystal lattice. If it is very closely packed in crystal lattice, obviously it has more melting point. Okay, then that is a concept. So here also same. If alkene having symmetrical structure, okay, alkene having symmetrical structure, for example, alkene, cis alkene, trans alkene. Cis alkene, trans alkene. Tell me, among cis alkene, trans alkene, which has symmetrical structure? Trans alkene. Okay, therefore, then what is the melting point of trans alkene? Obviously, more. Yes or no? Because it very closely packed, it cannot be very closely packed. Therefore, melting point is depends on crystal structure, or it depends on structure, that is a symmetrical structure. Molecule having symmetrical structure, more melting point compared to it is a unsymmetrical structure, like cis and trans. Among cis and trans, trans has always more melting point compared to cis. Okay, so this is about melting point, boiling point concept. We will study same order in all topic. Even alkyne also we study same. Haloalkane, alcohol, phenol, everywhere. Next is solubility. In organic compound, we study only these three property: physical, melting point, boiling point, solubility. Then what is the solubility? See, since alkane, alkene, alkyne, three are non-polar. They are not a polar molecule. Three are non-polar. So they are obviously insoluble in water. But when compared with alkane, alkene having little polarity due to what? Pi bond. So due to presence of pi bond, one pi bond in alkene, CH2 double bond CH2, let us take alkene, ethane. Tell me, among ethene and ethane, which has polarity? Of course, both are non-polar, but in comparison, ethene gets little polarity. Why? Pi bond. We know that pi bond are what? Delocalized electrons. Pi electrons are delocalized. They may jump here or here. You will get one carbon positive, other carbon is negative. Can you get like this here? No. So therefore, when you see the polarity, the polarity of alkene is more. When polarity is more, that's what? When comparison to alkane, alkenes are little soluble. Actually, they are insoluble. When comes interaction, they make some interaction with water. They doesn't make. Okay, so it is about solubility of alkenes. Next is properties, chemical properties of alkenes. Chemical properties of alkenes. Tell me, what are the chemical properties of alkene? Alkenes having carbon-carbon. Okay, so alkenes having carbon-carbon double bond, therefore they undergo. There are 4 type of reactions: addition, substitution, elimination, rearrangement. There are 4 types of organic reaction: addition, substitution, elimination, rearrangement. Then tell me, addition is the property of which organic compound? Unsaturated organic compound. All unsaturated organic compound undergo addition reaction. It may be carbon-carbon double bond, carbon-oxygen double bond, whatever, carbon-nitrogen triple bond. It may be any multiple bond. So carbon-carbon multiple bond, carbon-oxygen or carbon more electronegative multiple bond can undergo addition reaction. Now tell me, alkene undergo addition reaction because of multiple bond. In addition, 3 types: electrophilic, nucleophilic, free radical. Alkene undergo which type of addition reaction? Electrophilic. Because very good, it is a nucleophile. Alkene is a nucleophile. Since alkene is a nucleophile, it undergo addition, but which addition? Yes. That means alkenes undergo electrophilic addition reaction because they have carbon-carbon multiple bond and they act as a, yes. So therefore, alkenes undergo electrophilic. Alkenes undergo electrophilic addition reactions because they contain carbon-carbon double bond and they act as nucleophile. Okay, so therefore they contain carbon-carbon double bond and they act as a nucleophile, hence they undergo electrophilic and addition reactions. Then in electrophilic addition reactions, so what are the example? 1, all these reactions we have studied: addition of halogen, take quickly, addition of HX, addition of water in acidic medium, addition of dilute H2SO4, 5th one, addition of HOX, hypohalous acid, addition of NOCl, nitrosyl chloride, 7, oxymercuration, demercuration. Okay, so these are the reactions comes under electrophilic additions. Except last 2, 6th and 7th, all these reactions we have studied directly, indirectly. Okay, tell me, First one, addition of halogen. So what are the halogens? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So what is the reactivity? We have been studying reactivity in every topic because it is important. At least if I tell 100 times, you may remember at least one time. That's my intention. Fluorine less than ನೋಡಿ greater than fluorine greater than chlorine, then bromine, iodine. So fluorine is more reactive in halogen, right? Now tell me, let us take reaction alkene plus halogen. I'll take bromine. Fluorine is a highly reactive, highly exothermic reaction. So if you try to do fluorine addition reaction, that you know it, you may not able to do next reaction. Okay, so therefore alkene plus halogen bromine, this reaction usually takes place in presence of non-polar solvent, carbon tetrachloride, or you can take CS2, because bromine soluble in this. Tell me, now bromine plus carbon tetrachloride, it is ethene in barute. So bromine gives one Br plus, another Br is minus. So CH2Br, CH2Br. That is vicinal dibromide. But do you remember mechanism? It is anti-addition. Very good. It is a anti-addition reaction, right? So mechanism, this mechanism involved how many steps? 3 steps. Step 1, formation of electrophile. Yes or no? Formation of electrophile. Tell me. So here Br2 undergo heterolytic cleavage. Tell me, it is undergo heterolytic cleavage, it gives Br plus, Br minus, formation of electrophile. Next, step 2, you have studied, attack of electrophile. Now take the alkene, CH2 double bond CH2, electrophile is Br plus. Tell me, now Br plus attack on alkene, that it attack on particularly pi bond. What it forms? It forms an intermediate which is having cyclic structure. So one pi bond undergo dissociation, partial dissociation, it form with bromine, bromine get positive charge, which is called cyclic bromonium ion. Yes or no? Step 2. Then what is the step 3? In step 3, cyclic bromonium ion attack of what? Nucleophile. Right. Now tell me, this attack of nucleophile takes place how? Attack of nucleophile takes place opposite side of Br plus, which is called anti-addition. This is only important point. Therefore, addition of halogen to alkene is always anti-addition. Two bromine added opposite direction. So therefore, the product is CH2 Br comes down, it is up. So two bromine comes or attach opposite direction of carbon. Of course here it is not a chiral carbon, no, that's what it doesn't make a difference up or down. If it is a chiral carbon, it makes difference, configuration changes. Okay, so therefore tell me what are the characteristics of this electrophilic addition. In electrophilic addition, one, what is intermediate? Cyclic halonium. If it is a halogen, cyclic halonium ion is a intermediate, and this is a anti-addition reaction. Okay, next is yeah, tell me. Now here important is if it is a cis alkene. Cis alkene plus bromine added CCl4 and trans alkene here also bromine added in CCl4. Now both are anti-addition, right? Anti-addition, anti-addition. Come on, tell me now, what is the product? It is a cis alkene. Cis alkene anti-addition. Now in cis alkene anti-addition, bromine added in opposite direction. No, that's what. Since it is cis alkene, I'll write two methyl groups same side, and bromine added opposite. That means one bromine comes here, another bromine comes opposite. This is one product. Or this bromine may come here, this bromine may come here. You will get another product also, same quantity. Okay, so these two are called what? Racemic. Yes or no? Do you remember? Note, two methyl groups are same side. We are adding bromine opposite side. Two methyl group I kept same side. I have added bromine opposite side. ಈ ಥರ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಥರ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. Both are 50-50 possibility. Therefore, if it is come 50%, it must come 50% because possibility is 50-50. That's what it is, racemic mixture. So therefore, cis alkene anti-addition always racemic mixture. You should make point like this. Cis alkene anti-addition racemic. Next, trans alkene anti-addition. Now already methyl groups are opposite. Again we are adding bromine opposite. Then what happens? Two methyl group comes same side. When two methyl group comes same side and two bromine also comes same side, which is called what? Meso compound. Okay, so therefore trans alkene anti-addition meso, cis alkene anti-addition racemic mixture. Now question is, among racemic mixture and meso compound, which is optically active? Which is optically active? Both are optically inactive. Both are, yes. Meso, see, racemic mixture optically inactive due to external compensation. One can rotate PPL to right, other can rotate PPL to left side, same extent. Yeah. Now this is optically active due to internal compensation. It has plane of symmetry. Both are optically inactive. Okay. So therefore, when alkene given, halogen given, you add two halogen opposite side. That's it. You need to see that product where in product two halogen must be in opposite side. Okay. We have written many more example in electrophilic addition. You just go through those equations. Okay. Now next is here one important. Now what is the important of this reaction? Particularly halogenation. What is the important of this particular halogenation? Anybody? This reaction is used. Very good. It is used to identify the unsaturation. Why? So bromine has color. It is a reddish brown color liquid. So bromine is a reddish brown color liquid. Take the alkene or even alkyne also and add bromine water, even bromine carbon tetrachloride. So bromine is a reddish brown color liquid. Therefore what happened? Both alkene and alkyne discharge the color of reddish brown color of bromine. That means bromine loses its color. So therefore by this reaction it is used to identify what? Unsaturation. Unsaturation of what? Hydrocarbon, alkene and alkyne. Therefore this reaction is used to identify the unsaturation of alkene and alkyne. That is, both alkene and alkyne discharge the reddish brown color bromine. Both alkene and alkyne discharge the reddish brown color bromine. Okay. Next, second type of reaction is addition of HX. HX or HF, HCl, HBr, HI. So what is the order of reactivity? Tell me. HF, HCl, HBr, HI. Which is more reactive? HI is more reactive. HI is more acidic. Okay. Now tell me. Alkenes reacts with hydroiodic acid or hydrogen halide. I will take HBr. Come on, tell me. Alkene plus HBr, H plus plus Br minus. Tell me. Now which is added first? Electrophilic addition? No. Which is added first? Electrophile. Which is electrophile? H plus. Add H plus to any carbon, 1, 2. Tell me. So since it is a symmetrical alkene, you can add H plus to either the carbon. I will add H plus to second carbon. Tell me. Now H plus ion is added to second carbon, then pi bond shifted to second carbon, first carbon. Very bad. See, if you do not able to remember the basics, it is difficult to understand higher concepts. I have been telling you plus C effect, minus C effect. When H plus is added to second carbon, CH2 becomes CS3 plus. When CH2 becomes CS3 plus, pi electron easily shifted on second carbon. So therefore, now tell me, the shifting of pi electron or transfer of pi electron takes place towards attacking reagent. It is a plus E effect. So it is a plus E effect, then CH2 becomes CS3 and first carbon becomes CS2 plus, you will get carbocation. Now is there any rearrangement? Not required, because it is a primary carbocation. If it is undergo further rearrangement, you will get again primary carbocation. So therefore no rearrangement takes place. Then next step is what? Attack of nucleophile Br minus, so that you will get CS3 CH2 Br. Okay, it is electrophilic addition reaction. Tell me, in this electrophilic addition reaction, one, what is the intermediate? Carbocation. It follows plus E effect. Plus E effect. and it is carbocation formed. If the carbocation formed as intermediate, we must check rearrangement. Say even 99% questions based on rearrangement. Rearrangement ನೋಡಿ, if there is a carbocation forms, you must check rearrangement. ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ರಿಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 99% ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಚೆಕ್ ರಿಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ರಿಅರೇಂಜ್, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ರಿಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, rearrange it. The next add the nucleophile. Okay, so therefore next, if it is unsymmetrical alkene, it follows Markovnikov rule. What Markovnikov rule says? Richer become rich. See, electrophilic addition is a Markovnikov rule, elimination is a Sedgwick rule. Elimination, Sedgwick rule. What Sedgwick rule says? Poorer become poor. Free radical addition follows anti-Markovnikov rule, right? So these things you have to remember. These are the key point to understand organic chemistry. Okay, then example, let us take propene plus HBr. Tell me, is it follows Markovnikov rule or not? Yes, because unsymmetrical alkene, H plus Br minus. Tell me, according to Markovnikov rule, H plus means electrophile. Electrophile H plus should be added where? Where the carbon has more number of hydrogen. So richer become rich. Therefore, H plus should be added on first carbon. When H plus is added on first carbon, what happened? The pi bond shifted on first carbon. That is a plus E effect. Then when pi bond shifted on first carbon, where the positive charge comes? Second carbon. Is there rearrangement? No rearrangement. That's what you can directly add here. So the product is 2-bromopropane. Yes or no? Next, one more. Write the product. Tell me. So HBr, HBr. So it is HBr, there is no peroxide. Markovnikov rule. So according to Markovnikov rule, where the H plus should be added? Tell me first, electrophile added where? First or second carbon? So Markovnikov rule says that richer become rich. Therefore, add H plus to first carbon. When H plus is added to first carbon, pi bond shifted on first carbon, plus C effect. Therefore, where you get positive charge? Second carbon. When positive charge comes on second carbon, we need to check rearrangement. So there is a rearrangement is possible because adjacent carbon has 2 methyl group, 1 hydrogen. So which shift is possible? Hydride shift. So shift the hydride. Then carbocation comes here. Then next is add Br here. That is a product. Yes or no? So here product is CH3, CCH3, Br, CH2, CH3. Next, HBr in presence of peroxide. It follows anti-Markovnikov rule. Why it follows anti-Markovnikov rule? Because it is a free radical addition reaction. No. Free radical addition reaction. So why this is free radical addition reaction? Because HBr undergo homolytic cleavage in peroxide. So HBr undergo homolytic cleavage, it gives free radical, hence it follows free radical addition. Now tell me, if it is undergo free radical addition, you need not to check carbocation. It doesn't come carbocation, no rearrangement. That's what you add according to anti-Markovnikov rule. Tell me, according to Markovnikov rule, H plus added on first carbon. Now according to anti-Markovnikov rule, H plus should be added on second carbon, Br comes first carbon. Aste. There is no rearrangement. It's very simple. Next tell me here. So here Markovnikov rule. Then according to Markovnikov rule, tell me first addition of electrophile. Where electrophile should be added? On first carbon. Okay. Then pi bond shifted on first carbon. Carbocation comes on second carbon. Next rearrangement. Which shift? Methyl shift. Then Cl added on this carbon, tertiary carbon. Barutta? Next, HCl in presence of H2O2. It follows anti-Markovnikov rule. It follows Markovnikov rule. How come anti-Markovnikov rule? Anti-Markovnikov rule applicable for only HBr, because HBr only undergo homolytic cleavage in presence of peroxide. That's what you will get, same product. Okay, Markovnikov rule only. Next here, H plus added on first carbon, carbocation, second carbon. Now which shift? Hydride of phenyl, methyl. Migratory aptitude you have studied. Hydride shift is very fast. Then comes phenyl shift. So therefore shift the hydride, then add on this carbon iodine. Next, it is also same or not? Markovnikov rule. This is also Markovnikov rule because peroxide effect is not possible in HI. Next here, it is Markovnikov rule. No, Markovnikov rule. Idedi. These two first. And tell me addition of HBr. Add H plus. First carbon, second carbon. Where H plus added? The first carbon is CH2. Second carbon CH. Where H plus added? First carbon. When H plus added first carbon, where you get carbocation? Second carbon. Howda? Tell me. Next. If there is a carbocation, you must have doubt on rearrangement. ನೀವು ರೀಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ರೀಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಇಫ್ ದೆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ 5-membered ring, 4-membered ring, if carbocation formed in 5-membered ring, 4-membered ring, there may be a 100% rearrangement ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 5 membered ring idre there is a possibility of ring expansion, but condition is for ring expansion. So carbocation must be present alpha position with respect to ring. ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತಾನೆ. Therefore ring expanded. Then when ring expanded, you'll get 6 membered ring directly. I'll write here. You'll get passed here, no? Then this is undergo further rearrangement, right? Then you'll get tertiary carbocation. Then next is what? Which is added? Br added here. You'll get Br here, right? Right? So therefore 5 membered ring alli carbocation bandre you must check what rearrangement. Ring expansion aga chances bhಳ irutte. Next is this is anti-Markovnikov rule. In anti-Markovnikov rule you'll get free radical tane. Free radical, is it free radical undergo any rearrangement? No. That's what you just add according to anti-Markovnikov rule. So product is this. Next here, so here you'll get positive charge on this carbon. And tell me, if the positive charge present on cyclic ring, there is a ring contraction. Only one condition, see, for ring expansion, carbocation positive charge, alpha position with respect to cyclic ring, means ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. It should be outside. Positive charge must be outside. ರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತಾನೇ. ನೋಡಿ, ರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ತಾನೇ ಬರೋದು. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಏನು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್. ದೆನ್ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್. ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟೆಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ದೆನ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್. CPM tane, this is most stable. Now tell me, is it undergo further rearrangement? Agala. Even though it is a primary, it is hydrogen is there, but this hydride does not shift. Why? CPM itself is most stable. Oh tane, when compared to tertiary, CPM is most stable. That's what, there is no further rearrangement. Then what happens now? Br add here, you'll get final product.